Had Justin Verlander versus a guy with the last name of Otto. He's actually from Houston. It's a kid that pitched at Concordia Lutheran and went to Rice University. So you thought, okay, Justin Verlander is going to win another game. He's in Cy Young form. Then we got Yordan Alvarez, and hopefully he can make some magic happen. But where's Trey Mancini? And the bats and the lineup situation, you wonder, are they going to be able to complete the task? The Rangers came to play, and the water broke the dam wide open in the 10th inning, and the Rangers scored 5 runs, allowing the Rangers to still have the ability to possibly win the Silver Boot. Say it ain't so. Let's talk about that and so much more on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram, and Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, even when we lose a game like this. Always Stros.
I know we've said it before on this podcast. I hate the extra innings rule. It's so stupid. The fact that you have the runner on second base, all you have to do is get him over to third base, and then just get a sacrifice fly. And I know that's the purpose, but you know what? I don't hate it when you subscribe to our podcast on YouTube. All you do is just go YouTube, search for Locked On Astros, and hit that little red button that says subscribe, and go ahead and give us a like while you're at it. And go ahead and listen to us on your way to work, on your way home from work. Just listen, make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you're listening to your podcasts. Check out the Locked On Astros podcast. And I know a lot of people are down on what Maton did, and I am one of those people, especially what happened. I know everything that happened. I know he was throwing some balls. It just wasn't his best night. But the Astros would not have been in this game if it wasn't for Alvarez hitting his first home run since July 9th or June 9th 29th or whatever it was. But this was just an impressive game for the Astros. Tucker had a home run. They're deploying a 4-man outfield on him. And then Alvarez had the home run to tie the game. And it's just impressive to see those two guys who have been struggling so bad to just come out like this. So maybe it's a good sign to see Alvarez and Tucker getting the big swings.
Yeah, and if you were watching closely, Tucker looked to his left into the Rangers dugout after he hit the home run.
It was July 29th, by the way.
Okay, so Kyle Tucker basically looked into the dugout and you're going to play that outfield on me? Okay, I'll hit it. He even hit a ball through the infield at 110 miles an hour that squeaked through where you thought they were going to get another rally. This is just one of those games. I heard some interesting things. I know there's a lot of people that are like, why this lineup? Why are the Astros doing this? Why do they keep rolling out these lineups? Why is Mancini not in? Because I've been asking the same questions. Well, Brian Lima and Sean Salisbury talked to James Click this morning, and basically the gist of the conversation was, I don't think they're too concerned about having the number 1 seed. Yeah, James Click seemed to think that they were fine. They knew they were going to be 1 or 2. I don't know that they're super focused on that. They're going to keep rolling out different lineups. Apparently, Dusty trusts Yuli more because he keeps putting Yuli out there. Trey Mancini did come in late as a pinch hitter. He got a hit. He got a single. But imagine what Mancini could have done in this entire game. You got a guy with an over 7 ERA. And I made the joke tonight, Eric, with this lineup construction, and I know we're nitpicking here, and I know we're still, I guess now we're tied with the Yankees again because the Yankees lost, but we also lost, or we're a half game up. I'm losing track, but at this point, with Chas McCormick's amazing throw from left field, I'm wondering if he's going to sit Chas McCormick to rest his arm. I mean, that is the kind of commentary that is coming out of me and coming out of other fans. And people, and now look, I don't think it's as extreme as some of us make. And I think some of us caricature the argument. I think some of us use a lot of tongue in cheek when we say things like, I saw in here someone said, send Dusty to AAA. Well, I mean, that's obviously not going to happen, right? We're
Right.
just kind of talking out of frustration. But I don't think the Astros are really concerned about one loss to the Rangers. I really don't. I know the fans are like, this is ridiculous. This is a game we should have won. And I get that. But there are some good things that came out, some good news, and we'll talk about that this weekend of what's going to happen. And all in all, this wasn't a terrible game, but offensively, it's not good. They were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. You've got to get the guys across the plate, especially if it's the Rangers. And that's basic baseball 101. And I promise you, as much as we hate it, the players hate it more because this is a game they should have actually given to JV and won. It would have been his like 8th win in a row, I believe, if he would have won tonight.
Yeah, he won 7 straight games, and unfortunately, that streak was broken today. And if you look at Chandler Rome was on Sports Talk 790. I forgot who the host was, but he was on there, and he was saying that what the Astros are likely doing, he doesn't get it. And what he's saying is the Astros are putting people in uncomfortable situations. We think that Chas McCormick should be playing against left-handed hitters, but the Astros are trying to put the guys who maybe to get them ready for the postseason, maybe Jake Myers, put them against the guys they struggle with and see if they're going to learn how to hit them, because they're going to have to face maybe people they're not comfortable with, and maybe they're just playing to the lineups, and because they have such a big league in the AL West, so maybe they're just playing to the lineup. But even he's perplexed at what's going on. He said, well, the numbers say you play Chas McCormick, not Jake Myers, you all this. But I still think that what we're seeing here is maybe some type of miscommunication between not Espada and Dusty Baker. I think that relationship is clear, but I think this goes back to maybe the Miles Straw trade. There may be some type of disconnect between the GM and maybe even the manager about playing time. I think that maybe Dusty Baker was like, no, we're good at first base. You don't need to go get me a first baseman. Yuli is my guy. And then James Click went out there and said, no, we need to upgrade at first base. And so Dusty Baker is kind of drawing a line in the sand and saying, Mancini's a great guy, but I want to play my guy, Yuli. And so I don't know if that's the case, but he's been here for 8 games. He's only started, half of those games?
4, yeah. Yeah, I just wonder, I mean, it's not like you traded for a marginal first baseman, Eric. It's not like
Right.
you traded for a guy that's having some outlier good year, and he was in Colorado and maybe he was having a good year like a CJ Crone. We're like, well, I don't know if he'd be able to do something like this. But Trey Mancini is probably fine with it. He's not upset. He's on a first place team. Now, the Orioles keep winning. The Orioles are trying to make moves and become like the Cinderella team in the AL, and they very much probably will end up in the playoffs when it's all said and done. But it is a loss that the Astros absolutely don't have to take. Now, at the end of the day, you have to lace up your shoes. You have to get in the batter's box, and you have to throw the pitches, and you have to do those in a way that helps you win the game. Tonight, the Astros got outplayed. Did they get outplayed by a better team? No, but the Rangers were better in these 10 innings than the Astros. Part of the reason was, Rob Manfred was in the stadium today. And there was a lot of talk between Michael Bourne and Clay Hensley on the broadcast tonight about, hey, they were talking about the extra innings rule. And Clay Hensley said, I don't like it. Michael Bourne says, well, I do like it. And he goes, well, I'd like it because I don't want to play 18 innings and then come to the ballpark the next day and play a game at 1 o'clock. And then when the Rangers got their first run, Clay goes, that's why I hate the extra inning rule, and Clay goes, I think Michael has a special meeting set up with Manfred after the game because I think he wants to talk to him about the extra inning rule. And they were kind of going back and forth. It was fun listening to them have that banter back and forth. But It is frustrating. I mean, you as fans, we as commentators or as fans, we want our team to perform at the highest level and with the most optimal lineup game in and game out. Now, we do know that that is the thing. If you're worried about that, and if you think, okay, we need to win the fans back, I don't know that Dusty Baker is going to go to BlueNile.com and buy you a ring or me buying jewelry, but you may have someone special in your life who needs something special, like an anniversary gift, or maybe there is a special someone in your life that you are seeking to get engaged to. Why not try BlueNile.com? They specialize in wedding jewelry and fine jewelry, diamond jewelry, cocktail rings, gemstone necklaces, and so much more. They don't mince words when they say they've helped millions of customers find that forever piece. The engagement rings they create are one of a kind. They personalize it. They are authentic, and the experience is one of a lifetime. When you call one of their certified bench jewelers, they sit down with you and they let you choose the diamond size, the shape, the clarity, and the setting style. They handcraft this perfect engagement ring, and it's a one of one. They bring it to you. Now, if in the small chance that you don't like the ring, they will let you return it. They will make it right, and they have that guarantee. So right now, I need you to know the only way to make that moment truly sparkle with jewelry is from BlueNile.com. Go there now for the Blue Nile anniversary sale. Save up to 40% on classic fine jewelry pieces and 25% on engagement ring settings. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress free and get your forever piece today. Go to BlueNile.com.
So tomorrow's game is the Astros are hoping to get a victory, and you can't watch it on TV. You can only watch it on YouTube, and good place to watch it at is Hooters of NASA. They have the best wings, the best brews, and don't forget about the world famous Hooters girls. Brett and I go there all the time, and I love getting the chicken tenders with teriyaki, curly fries, and then Brett likes getting the Chipotle buffalo and fries. And what's your favorite? So come see what all the hoot is about at Hooters. Come hang out with all the world famous Hooters girls. Anytime the Astros play, you'll see and hear all the action because they love the Astros just like you love their wings. Enjoying the world famous wings. They have the original Hooter style, the Daytona Beach, smoke roasted, naked, or boneless, and one of their 15 sauces or 5 dry rubs, along with ice cold beer at Hooters of NASA. Whether you're dining in, order online for carryout, or placing delivery, the best food in Webster can be found here. And come enjoy happy hour, or should we say happy owl specials, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. So many drink specials. Don't forget about Thursday with drink specials all day. So I-45 South, exit FM 528 for great wings and the best service from the world famous Hooters girls. And Brett and I will probably be doing another live broadcast from there. And they're also doing another trip out to Minmay Park with you, the fans. So go see Rosie and ask her why she doesn't wear White Sox anymore. It goes back to 2005, and I guess you can figure out why. All right. So, Brett, a lot of people want us to kind of discuss what's going on with 2 people that are injured. Michael Brantley is getting a second opinion. A second opinion on what? Nobody really knows. We know that there's something going on with his shoulder.
It's his shoulder. Yeah, it's a
we know
second
that,
opinion on his. Oh,
yeah, we know it's his shoulder. Yeah.
No, I mean here's the thing. They're doing one. Well, gosh, this sounds so dumb. They're doing one thing for sure. They're making sure that if they call it a season, that there's no way possible that he can come back. Like if a doctor said he's not going to be able to play, right? It's going to do more damage long term. If Brantley wants to continue to play, whether it's with the Astros or whoever, this is going to cause irreparable damage to his shoulder. I don't know. I'm just using a hypothetical. So they're getting a second opinion to confirm what they already know, or to say, okay, it would be okay to add him to the playoff roster. I'm thinking he either doesn't come back at all, or if he's added to the playoff roster. Brantley is not the type of guy that you necessarily have to have a whole lot of warm up stuff to get back in the game. I don't know if there's time for him to have a rehab start or two down in AAA, but you could add him to the playoff roster last minute. I think, honestly, personal opinion, I agree with Brian Lima because I asked him publicly on the TL. This wasn't like private conversation. He put it out there, and I agree with his opinion. I don't think you see Brantley again. What was it that you shared with me that Chandler Rome said on Sports Talk 790?
Yeah. Chandler Rome said that, well, we actually got an update from a manager, and it's nice to actually get some honest information from a manager for once. And our next update from Michael Brantley will probably be mid-November. So I'm looking forward to that information. So he'll
Yeah,
be a free
it's
agent by then.
I mean, and it's really sad because Michael Brantley is the type of hitter, Eric, that could help this lineup because he's so consistent, at least producing, getting something there.
Right.
But I think he's in the dugout, and right now, yeah, I mean, he deserves to be a part of the postseason roster. But if you can't play, he'll be in the dugout, but he's not going to be on the roster if he can't swing a bat. There's
Right.
literally no point.
At this point, it's about his career. Does if he plays at all this season, is it gonna hurt his career? Like some doctor may have told him something or told the team something, and he wants to see, well, what if? So I think that's what they're doing. And Joe Espada said, "I miss Michael. The team misses Michael. Anytime you don't see Michael here, it's something you don't want. But we also respect his right to go seek a second opinion. There's no doubt about it that we all miss Michael Brantley." So that was a very Dusty Baker quote there from Joe Spada. So
Well, he's learned from the skipper himself. And I mean, like when I interviewed Joe Thon with the Fayetteville Woodpeckers, he said our manager is Dusty Baker, and there is a pecking order in the major league system. And we may not like Dusty's construction of the lineups. We may not agree with his roster moves or his pitching decisions. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what we think. They're going to do what they're going to do, and we have to trust the process. The Astros, I think, in the end, Eric, are going to be fine. What I need this offense to do, though, is I need this offense to perform on a consistent basis against these teams. Don't play down to the competition. They need to make the competition play up to them. That is the name of the game. And I think getting hot at the end of the season is extremely, extremely important because going to the playoffs, you got a lot of teams right now that are making a lot of buzz that are going to start worrying me if we don't step it up.
all right, to close out the thoughts on Michael Brantley, James Click was, like you said, on the radio today, and he said that we're hoping he'll be able to get back with us this year. In other words, probably not. Also, today, Joe Espada said this was Dusty Baker's plan for Trey Mancini. Right now, I know Dusty is big on getting everyone involved. Brett, you want to go play left field? Go play left field. I know he didn't say that.
I'm pretty sure he didn't include my name.
But we need every individual on this roster to perform and help us win games. Right now, that's Dusty's plan. So basically, everybody needs playing time except for Trey Mancini.
But that, like, oh, God, Eric, oh, please don't throw stuff at me like this live because I will lose my mind.
That's not me.
Yuli has had an entire season to play. He's had 2/3 of a season to play. What else do you need to see? Trey Mancini has also played this whole season. Who's better right now? It needs to be Trey Mancini. Yuli's done his part. Yuli is we love Yuli Gurriel. I almost said Yuli Garcia. I'm so frustrated. We love Gurriel. He's a great person. He's a great player. It's no disrespect to Yuli, but he's had his time. He's freaking had his time. And I don't understand why you would trade for such a good player, Eric, and not play him. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
don't know
and
why.
apparently they're looking at him as a bench option, and with the amount of players they gave up, it's like that's you gave up that much for a bench option. And same thing with Vasquez. And if you look at what Espada did today, you pinch hit for Maldonado, Trey Mancini got a hit, and then Vasquez was able to stay in the game to play the rest of the game. So it makes sense in that situation. So I think that's why you trade for that. So I
I
just
understand having a bench option.
yeah.
I don't argue with that, right? But I still think at this point, if you want Trey Mance, if he's on this team to help you win a World Series, he needs to be acclimated into the culture, being in this lineup more often than not. Yuli has been there, done that. He's been there from the World Series wins to the World Series losses to the playoff wins to the playoff losses. Mancini has not. He needs to be in the game, in the moment, day in and day out. He needs to they need to say this series is Mancini's series. This series is Yuli's series. Do something like that. Give him some sort of continuity, because as good of a guy as he is, and as much as he will do whatever you ask him to do, I think you're doing him a disservice, and I think you're doing this offense a disservice if you don't give him more playing time. Now, maybe he unfolds more playing time towards the end. Maybe he doesn't plan on playing Trey Mancini in the playoffs that much at all anyways, and they think he's a rental. And I think if that's the case, that would be kind of pointless. Why would you go get him? I just, again, never been a major league manager. Don't have numbers that clubs use to evaluate games. Never been a GM. I just clearly the optics of it just looks really bad from the outside looking in.
Alrighty. So yeah, in a second, we are gonna get to the news that everybody wants us to talk about.
We will.
And it is about the Iceman's returning. Winter is coming. And we'll talk about that next. Brett, what are we talking about now?
we are talking about. Okay, keep going. Go with something else. Go with you can't throw that. Go.
I was trying to go with a Game of Thrones
No,
reference there, but
yeah.
yeah, definitely. We're excited about McCullers coming back, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. But right now, I know we all love going to Hooters and everything, but we need to talk about your liver health, and so let's go ahead and discuss that right now, Brett.
Did you know that the key to sustainable weight loss is through your liver? The liver is the body's metabolic furnace, but now it's easy to rejuvenate your overworked livers. Thanks to Liver Health Formula by Pure Health Research. Liver Health Formula contains 8 liver boosting super nutrients like turmeric, beet, and artichoke extract. No more bloated belly, no more uncomfortable digestion, no more feeling tired and low on energy all the time. Best of all, Liver Health Formula makes it easier to maintain a healthy body weight long term. As a listener of our show, you can try Liver Health Formula risk-free today and get a free bottle of CurbFit with your order. CurbFit is a safe and all-natural appetite suppressant, making it easy to say no to naughty foods. This makes the perfect complement to Liver Health Formula. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB to learn more. Again, that's getliverhelp.com/MLB to try Liver Health Formula completely risk-free and claim your free bottle of CurbFit with your order. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB to get started today.
All
All right.
right.
So here's the deal with this whole thing with Lance McCullers coming back, because I know that's what we're going to talk about. When I heard the news that he was coming back, Eric, I was a little surprised because I assumed that they were going to give him another week. The way Lance was talking, I think he thought he was going to get another rehab start, because he said, although I like it here, and I really hope that they're not bringing back too soon, Eric. I'll be real honest. I really hope that they're not rushing him back, because there's really no point. I think he still has days left in his rehab assignment. He has a certain window. I want Lance to go out Saturday and be lights out, pitch maybe 4 solid innings and do a great job, get a win against the Oakland A's. Maybe he pitches into the 5th inning, qualifies for that win. But I don't know. I mean, what do you expect from him? Do you think he'll go 3 innings? They'll shut him down 4 innings. I mean, I don't see how this is going to go on Saturday. It seems
I
kind of soon.
I don't see it as a innings thing. I see it more as a pitches. They've already
Okay.
told him that he's going to be limited to about 80 to 85 pitches.
Okay.
I believe that they probably wanted him to go another, maybe one more start, but I think the last time he went 5 innings in AAA, and I mean, even though he gave up 5 runs, I think he showed enough. I think the fact that Josh Miller was happy with what he saw, I think that the fact that they did not announce that he was going to make another start in AAA, there was a lot of signs that a lot of people thought, okay, he's probably going to be coming back to pitch for the Astros. So there was a lot of signs that were saying about this. And Joe Espada said, I'm excited about it. He threw a bullpen session and his stuff looked really good. I'm really looking forward to adding that piece. Super valuable, super good, especially down the stretch. His ability to compete and win big games, I'm really excited about having him back. And the Astros will be going to a 6-man rotation. That's good, giving Justin Verlander the ability to get the extra day of rest. That's also bad because you're going to have to lose an extra arm in a bullpen. So you have McCullers, who's coming back from extended for 305 days of not pitching. So who knows how long he's going to last in a game? Maybe 3 innings, 4 innings, and then maybe 5. I don't know. But then you're going to have to kind of just kind of put together the pieces. But the question is, who gets sent down? Brian Abreu has been pitching really good this season. Seth Martinez has been pitching really good this season. I know everybody's be like, Maton, send him down.
You
I don't
don't.
think
Yeah.
he
You
can.
you don't. No, you don't send down a major league pitcher. This is what I think the corresponding move is going to be. I think that second opinion comes before Saturday, and I think Brantley gets put on the 60-day IL. That opens a spot for Lance McCullers.
That still doesn't open a spot on the 27-man active roster.
But okay, on the 27-man active roster.
The
Okay, well
26, yeah.
then wouldn't it be? Isn't Mushinski part of that?
No.
No, he's not on that. Okay. You said Seth Martinez and who else?
Probably Brian Abreu, because they're the ones that have options and they're younger people. You're not going to Will Smith. You didn't trade all those players just a option. I don't even know if he has options, and
Yeah, probably
so
not.
you didn't trade for him just to kind of say, okay, we'll see you in AAA. But so I think it's gonna come down to those two. Seth Martinez has been way too good a pitcher for the Astros, and you need somebody who can eat up some innings, especially if McCullers can only go 4 innings. You need somebody to kind of eat up some innings. So I know both those guys can. Martinez can maybe pitch 2 innings. Abreu can maybe pitch 2 innings. But so many times this year when Baker has tried to get Abreu to pitch an extra inning, that's when he kind of falls apart. So I would lean towards Seth Martinez, but Abreu's been so good, man, this year. I know he struggled, but I think that was the fallout effect from everything that Maton started today.
Yeah, Abreu had a rough outing, tonight because he followed up Maton. Maton has not been stellar. I think Maton is better when the lights are brighter. He was clearly great during the postseason last year. You hope he finds that magic in the playoffs this year. Yeah, I don't know. Something's going to happen for him to be added, and they said they're having those discussions right now. So clearly, they're thinking a lot about it. They
Yeah,
they have a lot of thoughts, and they're just not going to tell us until it actually. We
right.
probably won't find out till Saturday.
Right. And McCullers says this is just a lot of relief. And he said this was a super long rehab. I know it hasn't been as long as my Tommy John rehab, but mentally more draining, I think. A lot of unknown. It was the injury, the postseason, the lockout, no progress during the lockout, and then getting to spring training and knowing the long road I had ahead of me. I think there will be a lot of relief. I've felt healthy for quite a bit now. Just have to do the proper buildup. So the question is, Can he get to the postseason Lance McCullers? The ability to get up there, maybe throw 95 miles per hour or 94, or just get that elite stuff that we saw in the playoffs to be a viable starter in the Astros rotation. And that's what the next 4 to 5 weeks is.
Yeah. People tell me to stop yawning. Sorry, guys. I've had a long day. I do apologize. And, games like that are tough to watch, Eric. At the end of the day, we all want to know what's happening and what the move is. And until it happens, I mean, I just don't know. I think Martinez is probably the one of the most likely because he's the maybe Abreu's got a little bit more veteranship veteran tenure under him because he's been here with the club longer. So that may be the issue there. I really think that I would just like to see against these teams that aren't good. I would like to see us put out an optimal lineup at least 2 games in a row. I mean, Aledmys Diaz hits a grand slam and then he sits today. Now he comes in and pinch hits. He doesn't get a win for you, but he hits the ball. I don't understand sitting Diaz. I don't understand. I know they're like, well, Jake Myers needs more time and Jake Myers needs to be out in the field more. And I'm like, well, so does Chas McCormick. Chas McCormick threw an absolute laser from left field and gunned down one of the Rangers going home. Phenomenal play. He's got the arm. Jake Myers in left field doesn't make that throw. He doesn't make that throw.
Right.
And maybe that's Chas McCormick. Like, man, he had motivation. Like, I should be your center fielder. Now, I don't know that he's thinking that. Right. But, Eric, at the end of the day, I still think that you should be putting out your optimal lineup as often as you can. And I understand you have the room to tinker with the lineup, but why? I don't know. Like, I truly don't understand it. I really hope one day I get to interview one of these managers and try to find out what their line of thinking was in certain moments, because it truly doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to about 90% of the people that I talk to.
I really don't know if I should be saying this because the chat's going to go crazy. According to Sports Track, Phil Maton has an option.
Oh, he does. He does
Yes.
have an option.
Yes.
But I don't. But see, that's the thing. This is a Dusty team. Dusty Baker trusts his guys. He likes Maton. He likes Maton a lot, just like Brooks Raley. I mean, he's got certain guys that he plays, i.e. Yuli and Mancini. Eric, Maton is a major leaguer. They're not going to send him down in place of Martinez or Abreu. It's just not going to happen on this team. Some other team, maybe Maton goes to AAA. I highly doubt it. I would be surprised.
Yeah, I would be surprised, but that is something that Dusty Baker and James Click can consider at this point. But I don't know if they would like. Dusty Baker likes to value the veteran, so I don't know.
And when you've been in the major leagues that long, the only reason why you go to the minor leagues is because you're on a rehab start.
Right.
It's the only reason why you do that. So I don't see 10 out of 10 situations. I don't see where that happens. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens in that situation. So I know that Pearland, we talked about Pearland going on to the Little League World Series. They actually got to visit Minute Maid Park. That was cool. They got to meet some of the Astros, and Mattress Mac was there, and he's actually donating $20,000. Or sorry, the Astros.
Yes, yeah.
No,
right. He's donating $20,000. HEB started with them donating $20,000. Then Mattress Mac followed to help their travel expenses because all the families going up there. So, all those kids will, I think, miss probably the first week of school because of this.
Yes, and he also was quoted to say, "Yeah, I don't bet on Little League games, but he says he'll bet anyone a hamburger that Pearland Little League will win the Little League World Series." So, if you want to go get a Big Mac, go bet with Mattress Mac.
They are a very good team, and typically, whenever the team that comes out of North America goes to the international, like the World Series championship, those foreign teams are typically very difficult to beat. But if there's any team that I've seen in the last few years that's strong enough to win it, it's this Pearland team. They're very, very good. They're very confident. They got great attitudes, and they're led by a great coach. I believe their head coach used to be one of the board members of the local school district here in Pearland, because when I was first started teaching there, I got to meet the guy. Real nice guy, Coach Aaron Cummings. He does a phenomenal job. He's a person of integrity, and they lead these boys the right way, which is really fun to see in youth sports where kids are being led by good leaders.
All right, so we don't have a lot of time to discuss this, but did you see the Pirates player that had a cell phone that fell out of the pocket?
Yeah,
Can
and
you imagine if that was an Astros player?
oh my gosh,
That would have
the
exploded. Everybody being
outrage.
like, cheating, cheating.
Well, what was funny was, I don't know if you saw Ethan, the Locked On Pirates host. He photoshopped a picture of where it showed a close up of his phone, and on the screen it had Locked On Pirates YouTube page,
Oh, that was a good idea.
which I thought was genius. So yeah, but hey, they were like, "This is a young player." I heard Eduardo Perez and Steve Phillips talking about it on Sirius XM, and they said,
Still, you
they're going to
can't
have to
have it.
control this. No, he's just saying you're going to have to control this more, because these are young players from a different generation, and for them, see, he goes, I wouldn't be surprised if these kids had their cell phones on them in a high school game and nobody knew about it, right? He goes, because
Yeah.
they always have them on them. So yeah, the Pirates need all the help they can get right now, because they
So if
are
it
abysmal team to
vibrates
watch.
2 times, that's a curveball. If it vibrates 3 times, that's a changeup.
Wow. Now you're taking the cell phone to a whole new level. But yeah, hey, look, the Astros lose. They come back, a 1:00 game. It's a YouTube game. We need to tell y'all this. YouTube, right after the YouTube game, we're going live right after. It's a big event. We need 1,000 viewers on this broadcast tomorrow on YouTube. We need you to tell everybody to come hang out with us. I want to see 1,000 up in the upper left-hand part of my screen where it says viewers. And so I need 1,000 viewers. I need y'all to come through for us. You guys are awesome. You've never let us down. I know
Win or
y'all can come through.
lose, guys. You're
Win or
already on
lose, come hang
YouTube.
out.
Just come. All you have to do is just close that tab, search Locked On Astros, subscribe to us, make us your first listen. And so if you're one of our audio listeners, just go ahead and search us up. You're already on YouTube. It takes a second to just search Locked On Astros, and let's set a record. Let's beat all those other MLB teams, and let's just get this done. Let's show the other teams what Locked On Astros can do. So that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Hopefully the Astros secure the silver boot tomorrow so we can stop talking about the silver boot, because I really don't give a boot about it. But that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. My name's Eric Huysman. He is Brett H-Town Wheelhouse, and we are the Locked On Astros podcast. And go Stros and stay dry.